Salt. You've heard of it, I've heard of it. There's like a lot of it, I think. I've never actually counted the amount of salt in the world. But, so you, so in shops, yeah, they sell salt. Well, which I don't know why they do that, but they do. So, whatever. Except, have you ever noticed how much salt is sold? A lot of it. A lot. A lot of salt gets sold. And, you can tell me whatever you want about the, like, amount of salt in the world, but I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. And so I've come up with a theory, which, okay, it's more of a conspiracy theory, but I think it really, well, it's really grounded in reality, I believe. And, I wholeheartedly believe it. And I'm gonna explain this theory now, and hopefully more people will see where I come from, because I tried to explain this to my friends, and they just laughed at me, like what I was saying was a joke. So, by my calculations, yeah, more salt gets used up per year than fuel, which sounds ridiculous, I know, but there is an honest to God explanation for that. Yeah. And with how much salt is used, I think it should have run out by now, but it didn't. And so the only way it hasn't run out is if there was secretly some kind of, oh, I don't know, a big fucking salt desert. Yeah? And I thought about where this salt desert might exist, and I couldn't come up with anything. I mean, obviously I thought I considered the salt desert being the North and South Poles, but I mean, people have been there, and you don't hear them talking about how fucking salty it is in there. So I don't think that's it. And what is it, however, is, well, have you ever heard about hollow earth theory? If not, then look it up. So, what I'm getting at, the salt is all inside the earth. The mantle, lava, magma, it's all a lie. It's just salt. Yeah, yeah. And you might think like, oh, well, volcanoes and stuff, they're lava, they're real. Well, no, they're not. They're not real. They're holograms. The way people get to the salt is through holes in earth. And they're not volcanoes. Volcanoes are a lie. The actual way is, the holes, they're everywhere across the earth. For example, the pyramids. I know. The Bermuda Triangle, there's a hole in there somewhere. A big one. That's where the airplanes go when they go missing. Oh, probably like, actually, the Earth poles as well. There's some holes in there. No one's seen them, but they're there. I know they're there. Now, I want to come back to a previous statement I made, which is that more salt gets used up than fuel. And I'm sure you think that's ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure there's more people who eat salt in the world than there are people with cars, but cars use up a lot of fuel. Well, sure, that might be true. I don't know about that. But really what happens is, fuck, what, I forgot what I was gonna say. There's this guy. This guy, one guy, and he has a genetic mutation which makes him able to eat only salt and a bit of sugar. He prefers eating salt. It's just better tasting. I mean, if I had to choose between eating only salt and only sugar, I'd choose salt. Probably get hurt by that and dissolve my mouth, but it's better tasting. So anyway, this guy, yeah, he lives in the salt desert. It's not actually a desert since it's inside the earth, but I'm calling it a desert. I haven't come up with a better name. And what he does is he basically eats through the fucking salt. Yeah, he's a monster when it comes to eating salt. Well, he also eats a bit of sugar as a dessert, but it doesn't really count since I'm talking about salt right now. And so this fucking guy, right? He basically burns through the Earth's res- reserves of salt, and since salt is a non-renewable resource, he well, okay, he's not good news. Let's say this. He's not very good for the Earth, and the government knows about him, but they won't do anything. And you know why they won't do anything? Hello. They aren't gonna do anything because he's related to the president of Earth. Yeah, he's real. The president of Earth. I know you think I'm being ridiculous right now. I mean, what the fuck is the president of Earth? But he's real. I've seen him. Well, I haven't, but I might see him in the future. Oh god. And this fucking guy. I'm sorry. He, well, by my calculations, which I've done a lot of, I went to school once, I did math, we will be out of salt about 2 years ago, and that is true. We have run out of salt. Now, I know you're thinking that's not true. I've seen salt. Well, no, you haven't. You have not seen salt in over 2 years now because the government is creating chemically engineered salt. Fuck. What does the government do with that salt? Oh, right. I remember now. The salt, yeah, it has nanobots in it, which change the person who eats it. The person who eats it, their brain gets changed, yeah, and they become basically sleeper agents for the government. What am I doing with my life? Um, and so these sleeper agents, right? The government is basically every once in a while, it's like, hey, come over, we need to make more salt. And the sleeper agents, they come over and they make more salt. But they don't remember it because they are they are sleeper agents, and they do it while they're asleep. I think that's what sleeper agent means. So when you do something when you're asleep, and the government, I don't know where the government comes in. That's a zombie. Hello. Bye. Fuck. So the sleeper agents are a thing, as is the. Well, it's not good for the earth. And honestly, I think we should just kill the salt guy, which his full legal name is the salt and a little bit of sugar as a dessert guy, because he does eat a bit of sugar as a for like as dessert. But I don't think that's very relevant because I am talking about salt here. So I don't know why you keep bringing up sugar. But yeah, and by my calculations, right, which I've done a lot of, I'm good at math. There, why is nighttime? Hmm. There is a non-insignificant chance that in the future more people will find out about this, primarily through me because I am planning on running as president and using all this as, my campaign, my presidential campaign. Now, I don't know why I do this since Australia doesn't have a president, but I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll move to America. I'm not gonna move to America. Anyway, what was I? Right. And when the people find out about this, yeah, the the government will have to stop doing this because, you know, it is certain that like the people they don't want to be sleeper agents. I don't want to be a sleeper agent. And I am the people. I speak for everyone when I say this. And so what the government will have to do is they will have to pool their resources and create a utopia. Now, that is that sounds like it's hard to do, but no, I've come up with a way that this utopia will work. And the government will do that actually because, well, I said so. And so what will happen is jobs and like school and stuff isn't gonna be necessary anymore. Like you can, okay, well, school is gonna be necessary. I don't know why I brought up school, but jobs will not be necessary because with all that money the government has, and they use it for like I don't fucking know what, totally useless shit. They're gonna get all that money and they're gonna create basically like rations, bare necessities, and so everyone, even if they don't have a job, they'll be able to live. Yeah, sounds good. Now, of course, people will want to have jobs anyway because it is fulfilling to do stuff to like help your community and shit. And it also doesn't hurt that it's gonna be like extra money to maybe not just live in like a little one by one fucking I don't even know what house, an apartment. Anyway, and so this has been proposed before by many people, and the one argument against it is always like, ooh, what about not good jobs like janitor? Who's gonna want to be the trash man? Who's gonna want to lay bricks? Yeah. Well, here's this thing, right? The bricklaying will all be done by clones. And okay, I am aware that, as far as everyone right now knows, cloning isn't possible. Which, first of all, do you really trust the government when they say that they can't clone anything? Well, I don't. Clones are real. I saw them. I didn't, but I'm sure I can see them if I look hard enough. I it is possible to see clones if you try hard enough. Which is my point, right? The government will create a bunch of clones, and all those clones will be used for bricklaying. Well, and other stuff as well, but mainly bricklaying. Because I don't know many people who like to lay bricks. And these clones, right? The way they're created is you take a person, like a kid or something, right? And you basically tear them apart into molecules. And then from these molecules, you create a bunch of clones because a person has a lot of molecules, I'd say. I mean, I'm not actually sure how many molecules a person has, but I think it's a lot. I think I'm not a scientist. I know I sound smart, but I'm not actually a scientist. Right, and so these clones, right? They're not gonna I mean, they're gonna have like food and stuff, but they're not gonna want anything more. I mean, I don't know why you'd think there'd be like a clone uprising because there's not gonna be a clone uprising. It only happens in movies and video games and books and in philosophical debates. It happens in a lot of places actually. I don't know what's up with that. So fucking clones, right? I don't I don't know how to finish this because this is all I wrote down. This is I don't have anything else to add to this. I mean I can make an iron pickaxe. Look, I have an iron pickaxe now. Yay! How cool is that? So yeah, salt guy, salt, uh, clones. I think I think that's it. If I think of anything else, I'm gonna make a new video, but that's it, I think. Bye bye.